So here's the thing that drove me crazy for 2 weeks with my audio. I was fucking around on my computer and I set it to power efficient mode.
Oh,
And what that did was it lowered the power on my microphone. So then it stopped working. It was scratching and it had static. Can you believe that shit?
yes, I can believe that.
Can you fucking believe that shit? It's not like they tell you that. They're like, oh, you're going to have green energy. Well, now I am on ultimate performance.
24/7, no pause performance.
Can't afford it. I need all my peripherals high powered because here's the thing. If something on your computer doesn't work right, if something is different, if something is less than, your computer's a freak.
All right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I read you.
I don't want to have some fucking German midget freak computer.
God, that guy's such a piece of shit.
Who, Hans?
Yeah, Hans. He's a total little rat.
He's the star of the movie Freaks, 1932, written, directed by Todd Browning. I mean, I think he's a victim. But he's not innocent.
No, what about his wife? He was married.
So this movie is about two midgets. They're German, Hans and Frida. Now, what did you think of this couple, Mike?
I thought they were cute. I thought Frida was a really good actress. She was awesome. Hans, not so much.
What did you think of their chemistry?
They seem like a little married couple, but now that you mention it like that, are they like brother and sister or something? They kind of look alike.
Yeah, they're brother and sister.
Yeah.
They're part of the Dahl family. So
okay.
There were, I guess, the actor who played Hans had three sisters, and they were all midgets. And now, this is what I mean. Look, I'm not disparaging any little people. I'm just saying, like, one of them was actually called the Midget Mae West. That was her name.
Is that the one in the movie?
I think so. That was her nickname.
Okay.
So it's a different time. This movie, I guess it's a horror movie. I mean, it's not really, but it kind of fits like the vibe of a horror movie because it is horrifying.
Yeah, and I guess without getting too far ahead, but the ending makes it very much like a horror movie.
And Todd Browning directed the original Bela Lugosi Dracula.
Oh, all right.
So when this movie came out, it was completely scandalous. The original version of this movie was 90 minutes long. The version on the Blu-ray, and the only version anyone has been able to watch since 1932, is 62 minutes long. They cut 28 minutes of the movie because it was so fucked up. This movie, they call these pre-code. So 1929, Jazz Singer comes out, Hollywood movies get sound. And then till about 32, this must have been one of the movies that caused them to scale it back. Like 32, 33, they have this thing called the Hays Code. It was a self-administered censorship board. Basically, Congress was starting to freak out about the movie industry. And they said, like, we're either going to regulate the content, censor movies ourselves, or I guess you guys have to do it. So they said, like, all right, fine, we'll like make movies lame. We'll make them stupid. We'll make them like corny. So in this like little 3-year window, I mean, silent movies are also crazy. So like until 1932, 33, they would have more, they had more freedom. And you could tell watching this movie that it's subversive. The jokes are dirty. The
Yeah,
jokes,
yeah,
there's like dirty jokes in the movie.
yeah.
And it's like it's innuendo, but things are funny. Like there's a character, like you have the Hans and Frida, and then you have this woman Cleopatra. She's a trapeze artist.
She's hot.
She's what, German or French?
I think she's French. She speaks French, so I'm assuming that makes her French.
Yeah, her accent is weird. I guess it is French. It sounded German to me, but yeah, it's French because they refer to her as being French.
Yeah, and he
Um,
buys her the French wine, and she speaks French. I mean, obviously she's faking it, so it probably sounds like shit. That's probably what it is.
she's she's like really cunty. She's just
Yeah.
an but Hans likes her. Now Hans is married to his little person wife, uh, Frida, right? Yeah,
Yep,
I
yep,
just
yep.
said that. Okay, but he likes Cleopatra. Cleopatra likes this guy Hercules. He's a strong man. Now, did you notice that scene when Hercules comes over and she's like, "I can cook you something." He's like, "I'm not very hungry. How about 6 eggs?" It's like, oh, that's funny. And then she turns to him and she kind of like opens her blouse. She doesn't like reveal her breast, but she kind of like points her breast at him and is like, "How do you like them?"
Oh, nice.
Like,
No, I do not
like,
remember that, but I'm sure it
like
happens.
that's way dirtier than anything you would see in the 40s, the 50s, the late 30s. Like, the shit like I Love Lucy.
Uh-huh.
They had to sleep in separate beds, even though they were married.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, they're all fucking in this one.
TV, like they're fucking in this movie. There's a scene where there's also this guy Frozzo the clown, and he's hooking up with the chick Venus. Venus is normal height. They're normal, non-disabled people, non-freaks. There's a scene where it cuts to them, and they're just like buttoning their belts and like buttoning up their clothes, and like it's like, oh, they just like fucked.
Yeah, yeah, totally.
And they don't say anything. It's just like implied, like, oh yeah, they fucked. Like, so even though the movie got cut, they cut half an hour. It's still dirtier than most movies you've seen from this time. Um, like what's a popular movie? Like Wizard of Oz, right? I mean, it's just like completely G-rated.
Yeah, that's what I thought of right when I turned it on. That's the movie I thought of. I don't know why. It's like, oh man, I don't know why it reminded me of Wizard of Oz. I guess just because it was black and white.
Well, also Hans and Frida are in Wizard of Oz. They're Munchkins.
He's the main dude. When they start singing that song, "We welcome you to the Lollipop Land," isn't he one of he's one of them?
I he might be. I couldn't figure out which one he was. I didn't really go back and rewatch it, but it's like, yeah, those guys are German. They have weird accents. Like he could be one of them. It's really hard to tell from memory, but yeah, he's definitely in it. So they they all had some work in the movie industry, but they also like were in the circus. They were actual circus performers.
Right. And I would
then
imagine the regular actors were like stage actors, famous stage actors or something, or they're
they're just
movie
like
stars.
They're just movie day players. So
Day players. Okay.
basically back then you still had the studio system. You just, you got to work on movies. Like you got a contract, like a yearly contract.
Right,
So
right.
they were just in random shit. And it wasn't like you had an agent who really could put you in roles. These people aren't super famous. They're not movie stars, but this is like kind of a low budget movie. I
Yeah, I
guess.
imagine. Yeah, looks like it.
It's just shot in LA. Apparently, so the other cast, there are real freaks in this movie, real sideshow people. There's like this guy, Johnny Eck, he's a half man. He can walk on his arms, and basically everything, he has no legs. So he just like holds his body up.
Gloves.
And
He's got these thick gloves on.
and he has this like he has like a smile, and he's like charming, and I don't know, he like you could tell like he has like confidence in like his abilities. Like he doesn't seem like super messed up mentally. And then there's this one black guy with no arms and no legs.
Oh, I feel so bad for that guy. He's just laying on the ground all the time.
The Snake Man. Now he has a scene where he lights a cigarette by himself.
Yeah, of course you can't deny the talents these people have because they have to.
I'm trying to find the line.
Yeah, he says I can do anything with my mouth.
Yeah, he just goes, I can do anything with my mouth. He just like declares it. Now
the
that guy,
the other guy was like talking to him. I can't remember about what. And yeah, all of a sudden he just says that as he's walking away. That was funny.
I kept thinking like, how did he put his clothes on?
How do he do it? How does he do anything other than just lay there and snake along?
Okay, so he has no arms, no legs. He's black. He smokes cigarettes.
How does he pee and poop?
How does he wipe his ass?
Yeah. Where does it come out of?
Okay,
he's
so
the whole bottom half of his body, that colostomy bag.
Apparently, his son would help him get dressed. So he fucked and had a wife and had a kid.
Jesus Christ. Well, good for him. Good. I'm glad.
How does he fuck?
I have no idea. They didn't really go over that.
So he has no arms, no legs, but he has a cock and balls, fully functional,
and a butthole. Apparently, you gotta poop.
Oh. Maybe he can just like, maybe there's like a ramp to the toilet, and he can just like, because he kind of slithers like with his body on the ground, so maybe he just crawls up onto a toilet,
a 1930s toilet,
and just shits, and then grabs that thing, the handle with his mouth, flushes, and then hits the bidet.
That would be convenient.
That would be awesome, like a Pee-wee Big Adventure style bathroom. There's also these Siamese twins, these girls named Daisy and Violet. They are clearly not Siamese twins. They're just
really?
No, they're just twins, right?
Well, they're connected. You're saying?
Yeah, I think it's just I think it's just their clothing.
Oh, darn! I thought they were really. Thought they were really freaks.
You could. So the famous ones are Pang and Eng. That they're from Hong Kong. They were like from the 1900, like turn of the century, 1900, transition. They lived a long life, but their story is they both married two different women, and then one of them died one day, and then the other one just laid there for a few hours until he died.
Daisy and Violet. They're actually conjoined. Am I looking at this Wikipedia page wrong? Daisy and Violet.
I thought they were
Hilton.
They really. Okay, well, these chicks are uglier. Are these the chicks in the movie?
The one you're looking at, like the album cover or something. How can there be more than one Daisy and Violet Hilton?
Yeah. They are in Freaked. They are in Freaks. Wow. Yeah. I just assumed. I thought this was like so easy to fake. Like they don't. It's not like. See, that's the other thing. The movie is censored, so maybe there was a scene where you saw them connected. Like maybe they showed them like from behind or something, and you saw like
whatever the fuck that looks like.
Now, one of them is married to this guy with a stutter who's like a fucking idiot in the movie. He's like a goofball character.
He plays like the man. Doesn't he dress up as a woman? That's what he does in the circus. He's the one that has like the white dress and the puts on like a halo looking thing.
Yeah, but
yeah, he stutters.
He has a stutter, and he's like, well, come on, let's go this way. Like, and then his sister-in-law marries some other guy, and then it's all funny, like, oh, like he's like, "You should come over sometime." And he's like, "Yeah, you should come over sometime." And you don't.
You never see him again. That's the only time you see that guy.
It's very vaudevillian humor. Like, oh, like how do they go where? Do they live together? What's going on? This is absurd. Now, today, of course, we have the very famous television stars, those two girls, those blonde girls with two heads. That's a pretty intense Siamese twin couple.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what. I mean, I could imagine how they grew up and how they get made fun of or not get made fun of. I don't know. That is a really effed up situation there.
Abby and Brittany Hensel.
Yeah. God really smited them for some reason.
They don't have OnlyFans?
Oh, there was that video that went around that apparently was fake or whatever. Not that I looked for it or anything.
There's some bikini photos.
I seen. Oh. Come on, man.
What?
I guess we like freaks, so yeah, might as well check them out. Okay, all right, fair enough.
I'm just
cool
curious. I'm a man of curiosity.
What are the name again? I can't remember where they're connected. They're connected at the head? No, it's two heads on one body, right?
Yeah, dude, they're like real deal two heads.
Like an ogre. Oh my God.
They look like they look like Army of Darkness when he like splits the two people.
They look like a character from Warcraft.
And then
double-headed ogre.
Yeah, there's a scene in Freaks where the guy, the new guy who shows up and is dating the sister, he kisses one and then you see the other one like smile.
Mm-hmm.
Like she gets pleasure from the kiss.
I thought she was, well, I guess she's also jealous.
I don't know. I thought that was the joke, like, oh, she can feel it, but I don't think she can feel it.
No, they don't share lips.
They have 4 legs, right?
I believe so. Oh, wait, you mean, what's she talking about? The lady in the movie or this girl? No, you can see this girl only has 2 legs. Yeah, the one in the movie had 4 legs, definitely.
See, yeah, they're barely conjoined. I mean, look at this. Their legs.
They don't share a stomach or share a heart like I think those other ones do.
What are they connected by? Like one butt cheek?
Should have just cut that off or slice that off real quick.
I mean,
they could probably do it back then.
Daisy and Violet, they're sitting back to back with their own butts. So maybe it's like their tailbone. It looks like it could be their tailbone, like their final.
I don't think Siamese twins is the proper.
Well, they call that Siamese twins because of Pang and Aang.
Yeah, that seems. I think that's
because Siam was what?
And racist.
Siam was
China.
Yeah, right. Or Hong Kong or something.
Yeah, it could be. Or was it Kingdom of Siam?
There's a lot of these.
That's got to be China.
Heads connected. Oh man, these dudes. I'm looking at 2 conjoined twins. They're connected at the fucking stomach.
That's
don't even have legs.
Siam was Thailand. My bad.
Thailand. So they weren't Siamese twins. Hong Kong. It makes no difference. They just would throw countries out there like that.
Yeah. The Orient.
Shit happens. It's pretty interesting.
I guess it happens a lot apparently.
Happens, and
you get plastered all over the internet when it happens. Lucky.
We also got some pinheads in this movie. Like Zippy the Pinhead. That's what they call them. And they like shave their head into a little tuft with a little bow. Now, there's this one named Schlitz in the movie.
Is it a boy or a girl? They call it a girl. I don't understand, but it's clearly a boy. I mean, it looks like a boy.
I'm so glad you noticed that. Schlitz, this guy, they just call him a girl.
Yeah.
It's not a girl.
No, that is no way a girl.
And they're like, oh, Schlitz, you're so pretty. beautiful. And then Schlitz is like, yeah, like he literally cannot. He's like, is it? Would you consider that nonverbal? I mean, he couldn't speak any discernible words. Now apparently he was incontinent and he wore a diaper under his little dress the whole time, so he was just pissing and pooing himself.
All right. Well, at least we know he can. Unlike, I don't. At least I know something's getting through there. Who knows what's going on with those two little Siamese Indian twins?
Now, the Pinhead is a very sad freak. They're, they're mentally handicapped. They can't take care of themselves,
How come we don't see this anymore? I've never seen a Pinhead in my life.
I think they abort them.
Oh, right on.
Or something.
So we're going to start seeing them.
I don't know. They don't. You might see them, but without the haircut.
I just see garden variety retards. I don't see any of them with a funny head.
Still, I kind of feel like they abort those too. Like, I feel like this is. I mean, we would see them at school.
Pinheads?
You know where I saw a bunch was at Disneyland last week.
You saw a pinhead or a
mentally challenged, mentally handicapped.
Yeah. You see them all the time. I don't know what you're talking
Disneyland, they're going great. They're having a great time.
Yeah.
They were
my daughter's school. They're there.
They're at school. They have difficult lives. They don't live very long. It's it's not just mental problems. There's many physical problems that go along with it.
I think Social Security pays them like $1,400 a month or something. It's nothing you can survive on.
Nope.
Oh, where I know there's a few is at the grocery store. All the baggers are special. At least 2 or 3 of them are special.
That's a good job for them.
They get like a discount or something on the labor for hiring them. There's a reason why that happens.
They pay them less than the union rate or some shit.
Yeah, some shit like that, and they get like not a stipend, but subsidized by the government, I believe. Look, I'm all for it. I want them to have jobs and happy lives. I hope they get their money.
Yeah,
but
it's just
I don't
like,
think they are.
But like, let's be clear. I mean, the grocery industry is clearly taking money off the top. I mean, every time you go to a mainstream grocery store, a Safeway, a Ralph's, a Vons, Kroger, or whatever, Lucky's, if they even have those. I mean, they have no people working.
Yeah.
They just have no cashiers.
All those places are owned by one company except for, I believe, Kroger.
So they're trying to merge them right now, and they're trying to stop it, but they like I've been saying for weeks now, they live and before, like, these federal judges will completely override the FTC. Monopoly laws are completely fucked in this country because of the judges. And the other thing is about Freaks is that this movie was made during the Great Depression. This is, some say on Wikipedia, some say it's about class. It's about the haves and the have-nots. It's about the way our country was.
Yeah, I can see that.
Divided.
I also thought there's a class where the women were treated worse than the freaks. I thought there was this commentary on social class there too.
Yeah, the women. Remember, even Hans treats his wife.
Yeah, like dirt.
He's just staring, lusting after Cleopatra. He's just looking at her. She's like, she's so beautiful.
Yeah.
And then she's like, Hans, you are not listening to me. He's like, I was listening.
Yeah. What did you say again?
What did you say?
Yeah.
She's like, Hans, I don't want you smoking such big cigars. Yeah.
She's such a wet blanket, but she's a good actress.
And he's like, I don't want no woman tell me what to do. I can have any cigar I want.
That was very funny.
It's hilarious. I mean, it's a hilarious movie.
Oh yeah, totally.
It's just a series of hilarious scenes. There is. It's so fucking funny.
At first I didn't like it, but then it started getting funny, and it was very funny. I like that.
Because when you read it,
It's a likable movie.
When you watch a scene like that, you're just like, okay, these writers clearly know what they're doing.
Oh yeah.
This movie is not like a message movie. It's not trying to like hammer you with some like life affirming bullshit. It's just like, hey, this is Freaks. This movie's hilarious. Like,
it's just a very simple story to show you all these freaks. I almost thought it was a documentary when I was first watching it on circuses or freak shows.
And also the director, Todd Browning, he grew up in this community. So
he's a circus person?
Yeah, he was a carny. And a lot of them, a lot of people in Hollywood were carnies, were vaudeville people.
Oh.
Were runaways. The guy who plays Frozzo the Clown, who's like the most normal guy in the movie, like his life is like this like horrifying story of being like 17 foster homes and then running away and joining the circus and just like getting the fuck out of his awful town in Canada and making it to Hollywood and being in movies.
Jeez. Oh, good for him. Made it all the way to the Freaks movie.
There's this thing I heard Paul Schrader said on the Adam Friedland show where he's like, the first generation of filmmakers were all vaudeville. Like they're basically just
they went from the stage to the screen. It makes sense.
Yeah.
And where else you got to get actors? Who else is acting?
And they weren't like important or well-trained or famous actors or respected actors. They were just like, we need people, get them here. And then it was like, then they had these like TV people, and then eventually they became like college students. So now everybody is like, yeah, they went to college, they have degrees, they went to theater school.
They were the drama kids. They were the drama class kids.
They're upper middle class, or their parents are famous. But back then it was the Wild West. I mean, the city was still being built. They were just doing it. There was no rules. There was no laws. There was no regulations. They were just like, let's make fucking crazy movies. And they were a lot cooler, I gotta admit.
Oh yeah, seems like it. I haven't seen a whole lot, but the freedom they had with this movie made it really awesome.
There's this one pre-code movie I've seen called Baby Doll. Is that the name of it? Or Baby? John Wayne's in it when he's really young. Is it Baby Girl?
Never heard of it.
Baby Doll. Let's look this shit up. Baby Face. It's called Baby Face. Now, this movie's about a woman whose father is a bootlegger, and he has a till, and she helps him serve it at this like ramshackle restaurant they have. The cops come, they blow up the till, he dies, ruins her life. So what she does is she gets a job at a business, and she's trying to get revenge. And so,
you mean he had a still, not a till, a still,
still,
right?
not a till. Yeah, a till is a cashier.
Still is like a cash register. Yeah.
So anyway, she had a still. So it blows up. She gets a job at this company, and when she does this, she gets a job at a bank, and she's like, "Who's the manager of the bank?" Well, that guy. And then she's like, "I want to go on a date with him." He's like, "Oh, okay." And then she goes on a date with him, and then you see the camera go up to the next floor in the building, and then the next scene she has like a promotion. Now she's working like not in the bank storefront, she's working behind the scenes. And then
the management side, upper management, literally.
And then John Wayne comes in and he's like 20. He's in his 20s. He's really young. He's like, I would like to take you on a date. And she's like, what do you do? He's like, I just started here. She's like, okay, I'm not interested. And then she like finds the next manager, and then the camera rises and she goes to the next floor, and she just literally fucks her way to the top.
Awesome. Good for her.
And it's like, they had these rules immediately after, like, you cannot fuck. Two characters cannot fuck without being married. You can kiss. You can just kiss. And they have like a peck. And it literally like ruined movies for decades. And if you watch like a Japanese movie or a French movie in the 50s, black and white, they'll have tits. Not a lot, but it's like not, it wasn't so scandalous. It's just that here we had like crazy puritanical people.
Christian right ruins everything.
And like you pointed us out in the text thread, this movie has half man, half woman.
Yeah.
Now this character doesn't really have a lot in this version of the story. I wonder if they had a deleted scene. It's like a half man, half woman down the middle. And it looked like a guy in makeup. Makeup, right?
Yeah.
I couldn't tell.
On one side.
And then
you thought the person, you thought the underlying person was a guy. Yeah, I thought it was a girl. I thought the woman's side was real. Wow, they did a really good job.
I can't tell.
I thought the way her body was, the body was shaped, and the gait, I thought, was a woman. But
I was looking at
also
the face.
And also the face. Yeah, but whatever. The guy's side did look good.
But there's all these jokes like, she'll kiss you, but he'll hit you.
Yeah, it's like,
which is funny. I mean, it's a joke. It's just like,
you could also make an argument that the bearded lady and the guy that dressed up as I believe was dressing up as a woman, those are also trans-friendly ideas.
That must have freaked people out. No pun intended.
I guess so.
What else we got? There's a woman with no arms.
Yeah. That's when she was sewing and sipping the tea. Like I said, I think that was very impressive. Not as impressive as lighting a match with no arms and no legs, but impressive.
So, little Hans, turns out he's rich. He has a fortune. So then Cleopatra wants to marry him, kill him, and then run away with Hercules, the strongman. And when this plan gets like revealed like halfway through the movie, it just cuts to the wedding feast. And then they're like all hanging out at this giant table, and she poisons Hans. And then Hans says something like, "You're flirting with Hercules." And she's like, "What? No, I'm just so happy I could kiss him." And then she starts kissing him in front of everybody. And then all the freaks get mad. And then they start like singing this song, "Gooble gobble, one of us, one of us."
What do you mean the freaks got mad? They were happy. They were like trying to get her to join them.
Weren't they? Well, I'm getting the order wrong with the kiss. I'm getting the order wrong with the kiss or whatever.
They kiss, and then Hans gets mad, but for some reason the freaks try to bring her in, and she freaks out. I don't know. It didn't make any sense.
I think
I thought like they were saying because she was a backstabber, they wanted her. I don't know what the idea was there.
Maybe they get mad later when they see the poisoning.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because
but they're
peeking through the window, seeing what's happening. They see her poison it.
How do they react to the kiss? That's what I'm wondering.
The mom figure doesn't like it. The lady who I guess runs the circus, she doesn't like it. But the rest of the people start singing, and they fill up the cup and all drink out of the cup, and then try to get her to drink out of the cup.
Are they
in
just drunk?
a celebratory fashion. Yeah, that could be it too.
See,
They
they're
say
not really paying attention. You
they
know who
did
gets
not.
mad? You know who gets mad is Frida.
Well, yeah, of course.
She's paying attention.
Yeah.
Frida gets mad. The rest of them are just like fucking around.
She's constantly the Cleopatra is blatantly like just making fun of Hans the whole time, like not even pretending, you know.
The-
She carries
the-
him on his back, you know, at the end.
I'm looking at the half man, half woman. Yeah, it does look like a woman, but she does look very ugly.
Yeah, that's probably the case. That
She's
would make sense.
homely. But there's also another freak we didn't talk about, Cuckoo, who has a long feather on their head, and they just look
Like a chicken.
like a chicken. And then
Puts on a chicken suit.
there's also this dwarf guy who's pretty cool. He's like he has like a newsy cap.
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, they didn't even notice the kiss with Hercules. They're just having fun, and they have this giant goblet. And of course, the Ramones have this. They like cover this. They reference this song.
So
Gabba,
are
gabba, gee,
dwarves
gabba,
little people too?
Well, yeah, now
So now we just use one term for all little people. We don't separate the two groups.
nobody says midget anymore.
Yeah, right. So the midgets are not different than dwarves now. They're all little people. Because I
But
thought
they
one has
but they
proportional appendages and one doesn't have proportional appendages, right? That's the difference between a dwarf and a midget.
Yeah, and dwarfs, they don't have the high pitched voice.
Mm.
They don't have that like.
Baby
They don't look
voice.
as shy. They don't look childlike.
Yes, it's true.
So they seem to be healthier.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Could be.
Like Peter Dinklage,
He's a dwarf or a little
he's a
person
dwarf. He seems totally
alive.
fine and healthy. Whereas like, what's his face? What was that stupid show in the 80s with the black kid who got adopted?
Oh, not Parker. I was going to say Parker Lewis, but that's not it.
With a W?
Ah, jeez.
Webster.
Yes. He's gone.
He died.
Yeah.
Gary Coleman died, but Gary Coleman had this like liver problem or something, and they were giving him pills or kidney problem, and then the pills made him not go through puberty.
Really?
Yeah.
That's fucking weird. You're like, all right, well, your liver's fixed, but you're going to be a little person the rest of your life. Sorry about that.
Yeah, and it really fucked him up.
Yeah, clearly. That would fuck anybody up. Like, it's going to probably take you a lifetime to be content with being a little person on purpose.
Well, he's in heaven now.
Yeah.
He's did he marry some like crazy bitch?
Yes, and there's that phone call where she called 911 as he was dying, and they're like telling her to perform CPR on him, and she's like, "No, I don't want to touch him. I don't want to." She just wouldn't do any of the
because he's having a stroke, or
As he
like
was
he's
dying in
like
the background.
like an epileptic seizure or something, like his mouth is foaming, and she's like, "Ew, gross."
Basically, yes. That was what was going on, as far as I understand. I don't know what the exact medical condition he was suffering from, but essentially, she did not want to help her husband. And I feel like he bumped his head too, or something. But that just could be neither here nor there. Remember blood?
He's
being
24 years old.
Yeah.
I just got home. I heard this big bang. I went downstairs, blood everywhere. I don't know if he's okay. I'm not down there right now because I have seizures. If I get stressed out, I'm going to seize. So she's afraid of having her own seizure. He fell. His head is bloody. There's blood all over the floor. I don't know what happened. Is there any way you can go down there at all? I'll try. I don't know. No, I've just been kind of sick. I don't want to be traumatized right now. Gary, you have to put pressure on your wound. He's lethargic. He's lethargic. I can't really help him. I just need help quick. I just can't be here with the blood. I'm sorry. I can't do it. I can't. There's blood all over and I can't do anything.
Oh, I can understand that. I don't like blood, especially a lot of it. It scared the crap out of me.
She then says, I can't drive. I've been sick with a fever. I can't do anything right now. The operator asks Price to at least give him a towel. This is tragic, Mike. A little person is dead. So
Hopefully
Gary
he was
called.
unconscious. Hopefully he didn't hear any of this or experience any of it.
Yeah, I'm panicked. I don't know what to do. I just don't want him to die. I'm freaking out. It's like, she's like, I just met this guy like a couple weeks ago and I married him and we did a couple of magazine interviews. I don't fucking know him.
You have to be careful who you choose as a life partner. That's one of the most important things in life. He blew it.
Do you know about this 70s TV commercial star Mason Reese?
No.
Okay, you definitely don't know about this. I know someone.
Mason Reese. Commercial.
Mason Reese.
Like Reese's Pieces?
Reese. He was in all these. He was a child star who was in the most TV commercials.
Deviled ham?
He's in like so much shit.
Deviled ham commercial?
So you see him? You see what he looks like as a kid? He's like fat, cute, redhead.
Was he Mikey? Oh my God. Oh,
And
look
then-
at that. Look at that nose.
Well, the
What?
funny thing is he talks like this now because he lives in. He's like, I live in New York City. I own a restaurant.
All right. So what about him?
So he married this crazy ass woman
Uh-huh.
who did like porn.
Okay. Go on. He's pretty hot.
I'm trying to find. Oh yeah, Sarah Russo. So
Was it like a
They-
TV show or something?
they met on some weird app or something. But this is like a modern day version of Freaks. These women, these gold digging whores, right?
Yeah, yeah.
They see these freaks and they want to get and they want their money, and then these freaks, they just want
God, it's
young,
so sad.
beautiful women. And this is the imbalance of humanity. This is a thing that occurs. This is why we need to bring back arranged marriages. Okay? So this shit
Jesus.
doesn't happen. You know? Then
It's pretty
no,
hot.
see,
She's very hot.
we just need to have no happy couples, and then it would work itself out.
I've actually heard. Well, I don't know. This is probably just people making excuses, but with an arranged marriage, sometimes it actually works out pretty good because like you're forced to be with this person, and then you kind of like find things you like in each other, and going through that journey can kind of bring you closer. But that's probably just wishful thinking. Probably they're miserable, most of them.
They love it.
They do.
It worked.
All right.
Some of them love it.
Yeah. I don't
You
know
know?
anyone who's been arranged with a marriage, so I don't know.
I don't know what happened to her. I'm trying to find like anything about her now, but I don't think it worked out. I think eventually she just was like, okay, made some fame. I got some followers. Now I'm breaking up with Mason Reese. And he's just like,
Oh, I'm heartbroken.
what the hell? And he had like, he would ride around a rascal and like carry her on the back.
Oh my God. Wow, I wonder why that didn't work out.
They were known to be seen around New York City on the rascal.
Oh, it's like a 2-seater motorcycle. With her in the back behind him.
and they're in Central Park, and there's like a dog.
Yes.
So Mason Reese, child star, kind of like Webster, Gary Coleman.
At least he kept his money. Good for him.
His mother
Uh-oh.
is an extremely successful actress, and she's in like The Big Sleep or something. She's in like Humphrey Bogart movies.
Never heard of her.
Yeah, so I know too much about this shit. So at the end of Freaks, they poison Hans.
Hans figures it out. He sees what she's doing.
The Freaks figure it out.
Yeah.
Everybody figures it out, and then there's this like night where it's raining hard. They're riding around these like European wagons that look like something out of Disneyland.
Those things are fucking awesome. The caravans. Oh my God, those are so cool. Wish I had one of those now.
They're like wood carved, beautiful, handcrafted caravans.
It's like something a gypsy would have, basically, because that's kind of what they are, right?
They probably belong to the movie studio, and they're probably in tons of horror movies and all sorts of random ass movies. Because there's always like the Wolfman would hang out with like a fortune teller, and there's all these scenes in movies where they go to caravans.
Yeah,
they get a curse from this time period.
They crashed them though. I mean, it looked like
That's true.
It looked like real crashes.
That's true. But also when they're in the caravan, you see the Freaks. One just is playing with like a switchblade.
Yeah.
And one has a gun and he's polishing it. And they're like
PO8.
They're staring at Cleopatra.
And then one is just like playing the harmonica creepily, or like I don't know if it's specifically a harmonica, but it's like a winded. Is it a recorder? It looks like he's holding it across his lips though, but maybe it's a recorder.
It's kind of like a harmonica in Once Upon a Time in the West. Like he's just like taunting her with it.
Yeah.
It's crazy. This came out in 1932. This is like World War II is not even happening at all. I can't imagine what that must have been like. I mean, it's so long ago. This is almost 100 years old.
I mean, the World War I had only been over for what, 5 years?
Mm-hmm. America was, how involved were we even with World War I?
I mean, according to the Battlefield game I've been playing, I mean, they were pretty involved, but in real life, I don't know. I think we just shipped some soldiers over there. We were so far away from everything. How much are we going to really do? You have to ship your soldiers over there by boat. There's no fucking airplane that would get over there. So
yeah, there's no
minorly, I guess.
World War II really developed technology so much faster.
Got us out of the Depression.
Have you seen the footage of the chickens they would put in bombs to aim them?
No.
This is fucking crazy shit. Speaking of freaks, I mean, this is carnival shit.
Well, also, like, back then they had like targeting systems and stuff to direct bombs, and it was analog. It was like a mechanical system instead of a computer screen, which is I can't even imagine how they made that shit.
Here's a little video. Oh, this is analog.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So,
I mean, it's just like we landed on the moon with analog, but still, it's amazing. It's just unbelievable.
So these chickens, they would teach them to target battleships on a picture and tap it. And then if they tapped it correctly, they would get food. Okay.
Oh, wow, look at that.
So then they would literally put it on a fucking rocket and it's flying at a battleship and the pigeon keeps tapping the middle of the battleship and it steers the little fin on the back. And then it would just...
Did other countries do this? How the fuck did they figure that out?
Because it's like you need
That one says Germany. Was it only German missiles that did that? Ah, whatever.
I mean,
That guy looks German. Are you sure those weren't pigeons?
they're pigeons, not chickens.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. This is a real thing that worked.
Speaking of birds, we kind of left off kind of what happens at the end. What happens to Cleopatra?
This is so funny.
What the fuck? What are they getting at?
So
there?
first, the caravan crashes. They all sneak up to Hercules with their knives. There's like 5 of them that come up to Hercules with their knives.
So cool.
And then
this is the best scene of the movie.
And then you see them all running towards Cleopatra. And then it just cuts, and then they go because there's this carnival barker at the beginning of the movie that bookends it, and then he talks about like they turned her into this, and then she turns into the chicken lady.
Yeah,
like kids in the hall.
I don't even know what they're implying they did. Cut her up and then sewed her back with a chicken, or what?
And she has feathers.
Yeah, her face is all fucked up.
And then it cuts to Hans. He's rich. And then Frida visits him. And he's like, don't look at me. Don't look at me. She's like, come to me. Don't cry. I love you. The end. Okay.
The clown and the other lady, the Earl, leave. They're all like in fancy clothes, like they got rich or something. I don't really know what they're implying there.
So want to hear some of the shit they cut out?
Yes.
Okay, Hercules.
Have you seen the 90 minute
No one's seen it. This is just...
You can't see it. Okay.
Unless you saw it in 1932 and you're alive today, it's just been described. So what happened was to Hercules, with all those knives, they castrated him.
Nice.
And there's a scene where you see the chicken lady in the freak show, and then you see Hercules. He's now a castrato. So you see him singing with a high-pitched voice.
Okay, that's very funny.
So they cut his balls off. Now, of course, this isn't how castratos work. His voice is already deepened. If you were to cut your balls off as an adult male, your voice wouldn't go high-pitched.
Right.
You have to develop it you have to skip that puberty.
That's probably why they cut it out of the movie. It's not anatomically correct.
I think they cut it because it was completely fucked up.
No way.
And then, so he was singing in a high-pitched voice, and then Cleopatra was quacking with him,
what the
singing,
fuck?
like singing with him. How could they deny us such a cool movie? How could this be lost to history?
Yeah, that's awful.
Now, what's the message?
Sorry.
We are all beautiful inside.
I guess something about freaks or disabilities or something.
Also, that this thing that terrorized Cleopatra was when they said "one of us." It's like when she realized that she was like them, that horrified her.
Brought her down a peg.
But it's like this is your classic liberal story of accepting people who are different from different parts.
They're living together communally.
It's the story of America, really. I mean, so many of these people are foreign. I thought it was interesting too how like so many of the characters are German. And like, I don't know any German immigrants, but 100 years ago, that was a big thing in this country.
Well, they just kind of mixed in, just like the Japanese did too. They kind of became Americanized, so you don't really notice it so much.
But you can tell, like, hey, that guy is Japanese.
Yeah, that's for sure.
We don't really, the white immigrant era is just so over. The European immigration.
Yeah.
You'll meet an Englishman every now and then. You'll meet a fucking foreigner every now and then, but it's not a big deal. But it was like It was like waves and waves of them. It must have
Maybe
been
now that their country's getting immigrated into, maybe they'll come over here or something.
Italians,
Yeah, white British people.
Greeks.
Yeah, yeah.
They should. This country's way better. I don't know why they don't.
I don't know either.
I mean, you can't get a
This-
fucking Luger in England.
She'll know.
Shotgun, rifle, AR-15. I mean, we got it all.
This Latin immigration from Central and South America is the best thing that's ever happened to me. I'm so happy this has happened
How come?
because my Colombian girlfriend is awesome, and I love Latinas across the board.
That's beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
We should cut. Can you do a commercial? This is I don't know how much longer this is going to last for you, buddy.
All the new laws don't affect her. She's already got a court
I'm not
date.
talking about that. I'm just
Oh.
saying that this might be the end of the Central and South American migrant
Hey, there's already a
story
lot here. There's already a
in
lot here to
in
pick
the
from.
United States, because their theory was in the 90s in California, we were a swing state. We were pretty Republican
Uh-huh.
in terms of governors. Growing up as children, we only had Republican governors. And then around the mid 90s or the early 90s, there was this extremely draconian anti-illegal immigrant law that they were trying to pass. I forget what it's called. And apparently it caused such a reaction that it killed the Republican Party in California. And it basically, Schwarzenegger was the last one, but he's pretty moderate.
You're saying that the policy was so extreme that even the Republicans didn't like it?
And everybody became Democrat. Like we're
Hell
like
yeah.
we're like 60-something% Democrat. So they thought this is the way we gain Latino voters. Right? We'll be very lenient on illegal immigration, migrants. But what they're finding out in Texas, Arizona, Nevada is they aren't swinging the same way. They're just keep swinging more and more Republican.
Yeah.
Slowly over time, they're just turning more conservative because they might be more Christian,
The Latinos?
Catholic,
They're
more
Catholic.
religious.
Yeah. I mean,
They're
Mexicans are Catholic.
So they're just more conservative, right? Culturally conservative, and everything's kind of breaking down on cultural lines. Plus, there's a big discrepancy in who goes to college, who doesn't go to college. So
The
basically,
hardcore ones don't like abortion.
the Democrat Party I don't think they're going to be so lenient on immigration anymore. That's what I'm hearing. But, people still no one really cares about this issue on the Democrat side.
No.
It's like, if you're here,
Whatever.
don't get kicked out. Like,
Right.
people feel bad for that because it's like there's all sorts of fucked up stories.
They're paying into Social Security and all that, and they may not ever even get it back. And they pay taxes, whatever. More the
So
merrier.
They might make it more difficult because it's not swinging. It's not going to swing the elections going
I
forward.
agree with that.
Florida has not turned blue. Texas has not turned blue. Arizona is a swing state. So
I don't know. Everyone I met from Arizona is pretty conservative.
I know. So they also, the other thing is with Arizona is that Trump shit on McCain, which is like their local hero. So
yeah, that's a good point.
that could be a factor. So it's tough to run a party like the Democrat Party when your leadership is only in San Francisco, LA, and New York, and you just have no fucking idea what is going on
in the flyover areas.
The majority of the states, and you're just like, I don't know what you people want. Do you want?
Make up your mind.
What about Thai food? Isn't that? Do you like a Thai? What if a Thai food restaurant? What if a pupusa restaurant opened up in San Antonio, Texas?
Oh my god.
Would you like a BMW electric car?
Oh yeah, it's so funny.
So ratings, I give this 4 stars. It's very good. It's not. It's very unique. It's very entertaining. I wish we had the uncut version. The acting is pretty sus.
I thought it was good. I thought it was good. Some of them were really good, and some of them were just okay.
Yeah.
The
writing is on point.
The non freaks, the Violet, not Violet, Violet, Cleopatra, they were great actresses. I thought they were really good.
But Hans is just a fucking loser.
No, of course, yeah, he sucked, but Frida was good.
Hans,
yeah,
you smoke a cigar. Okay,
I felt sad. Okay, I was going to this. I've been grappling between 3.5 and 4, so I'll just go 3.75. I like it. It's unique. You could show pretty much anybody it, and at least they would want to watch it for one time, and it's only an hour, so it's easy to digest.
Okay, who's the hottest freak?
The twins.
Really? I was going to say the one with no arms.
She was kind of dumpy. You know what I mean? I mean, she looked like a kind of like a pile, but I understand why. But I would say the twins are the most attractive.
What about bearded lady?
Oh God, no.
Frida? Could you?
She looks too much like a kid. But it would be weird.
I know. From behind.
Oh, come on.
It's like
it's
like a baby.
Yeah.
Little legs.
You ever watch? You ever seen any Little People porn?
But only like on Style Project, Consumption Junction.
Yeah, on accident, kind of.
You're just like goofy. I don't actually. Yeah. She's not. I mean, there are some beautiful little people. Obviously, the woman from Total Recall with the Uzi, one of the most beautiful actresses of all time. Yeah, I mean, the woman I thought was really attractive in this was Venus.
I'm a Cleopatra guy.
I thought Venus looked just like Uma Thurman.
Yeah, I could see that.
I didn't like Cleopatra. I thought she's a cold fish.
Yeah, I mean, she's got a bad attitude, but you know, that's for the fucking movie. Talking about attractiveness, I'm thinking of her if I met her on like a nice evening in a quiet bar somewhere or something. I guess it would be like a speakeasy back then or something. She's a flapper. I've got full black suit. Nice black bowler. I mean, I'm looking good.
Gambling den.
Yeah, there you go. Take her to the opium den next door. Show her a good time.
Why don't you hit this pipe?
Try to use my flaccid penis on her. And leave in embarrassment.
Wow. That's beautiful.
Yes, thank you.
All right, Freaks, 3.75. Watch it. Enjoy Halloween. Later.
Later, man.